Hi everyone, this is Veronica, and today our topic of discussion is about a fish in China, that is paddlefish, which has gone extinct. So they have announced now that this fish is extinct now. So we'll discuss in detail about this fish. For my video updates and queries, you can connect with me on Instagram and Facebook because I feel together we can make a huge difference. Now, see, in what context today we are studying this, because the Chinese paddlefish, one of the world's largest fish, has gone extinct. It was native to China Yangtze River. These fish grew around 23 feet in length but haven't been spotted since 2003. So the Chinese fish, paddlefish, and its close relatives have been around for at least 200 million years. The species reaching up to, as I told you, 23 feet in length, they survived unimaginable changes and upheaval such as mass extinction took place where a lot of organisms, lot of creatures got extinct, but they still survived. There were many changes in the earth's atmospheres, but they still survived. But now see, they are known as living fossils also. Fossils, as you know, so living fossils because they were there at the time of dinosaurs also. When the marine reptiles pliosaurs were alive, they were present at that time also. So that is why we call them living fossils. So in its time, flowering plants evolved and came to populate the shores of its ancestral home. So the Yangtze River in modern day China, they're found there. So see, much later we have seen, okay, again on this slide, much later we have seen the bamboo came on the scene, and well after that giant pandas. In the last few thousand years, the blink of evolutionary time, the land filled with people and China became the most populous country on earth. So in the muddy waters of Yangtze, so this is the Yangtze basin in the world, you can see here, and the number of rivers here: Lao River, Hai River, Yellow River, and then you have Huai River, Yangtze River, Kietang River. So this is your Yangtze River, which is where it is found. So in the muddy waters of Yangtze, the paddlefish lived as it had for eons, using its special sword-like snout to sense electrical activity to find prey such as crustaceans and fish. So again, look at this picture. So this long snout it had. So this is it is used to detect the prey. So it feeds on crustaceans and fishes. But there is one phenomena this ancient species, sometimes called the panda of Yangtze, could not survive. And you know what is that phenomena? Humans. So because of humans, it cannot survive. It survived all the brutal, not brutal we can say, but all the dangerous and difficult situation that this earth has ever faced. It survived all, but it cannot survive humans, our activities. So there's a new paper published in the Science of Total Environment which concludes that this species has gone extinct, and mainly due to two things. One is your overfishing and another is your dam construction. So it is a very reprehensible and an irreparable loss. It is a definitive loss of a very unique and extraordinary animal. Now, researchers are saying that extinction of paddlefish should serve as a wake-up call to protect other freshwater species, large fish, in which a lot of researchers and specializes, because a lot of scientists and researchers are now working on the freshwater animals also to protect them. They are becoming conservationists so that we can conserve the nature and these animals. So most of the biggest freshwater animals are actually threatened with extinction. So this is first of these very large freshwater fish to go, and many are at risk. So the concern is that more will go extinct, but the hope is that we can reverse their decline before it is too late. So this is the first of these very large freshwater fish, as I told you, which has got extinct, and the species gradually declined over the last century thanks to overfishing in 1970s. So the reason of this long goodbye, we need to see the species actually declined in the last century, but what really did it, the scientists conclude, were dams, specifically the Gezhuba Dam, built on the main stem of the Yangtze, a little over 1,000 miles from the sea. So this dam, which was constructed without a fish ladder or bypass, cut off the paddlefish from their only spawning grounds upstream, which had only been discovered in 1970. So what happened? Like, there is a river. So it is flowing in this direction. So we have built a dam here. But this fish was here and it used to go for spawning, or you can say breeding, to deposit the eggs on this side of the dam. But now this is the upstream. It has to fish against the current of the water to reach to this area. But now we have constructed a dam and we have not given it a pass to cross, right? So this is one of the reason why it extinct, for its extinction. Now, populations of the fish continued to dwindle after 1981 dam construction, but nobody had yet figured out how dire the situation was. As is often the case, there can be a significant lag between major disturbances and their impact, but the researchers estimate the fish had become functionally extinct by 1993, meaning there were not enough fish to meaningfully reproduce. So this is the timeline, you can say. As I told you, this is called a living fossil, and it was there before 200 million years ago also, then 34 to 75 million years ago also, if you see the fossil records, then in China in 1949. So gradually now we have, in 1981 we constructed this dam and we started finding the dead bodies of these fishes below the dam. And in 2003, Three Gorges project initiated, where last time we saw this fish, last live specimen was observed. And from 2000 and 2013, researchers are trying hard to find any single species left, not species, representative left of this species, but they're not able to find, and now it is declared extinct. So like after 1993, sightings continued, because I told you, you can say functional extinction took place in 1993, but still sightings continued and several individuals were captured in a series of failed attempts to start a captive breeding population. So what happened in 2002 in Nanjing, okay, the place is Nanjing, a female was captured and urgent efforts were made to save her, but she died a month later. In 2003, researchers attached a tracking tag to a Chinese paddlefish that was accidentally captured near Yibin in southern central China. They released it to see where it might go, but within hours lost all signals from the tag. That was the last of the species ever seen alive. So now the researchers say the best time to have started conservation efforts were before 1993, or certainly before early 2000s, which is when they begin in earnest. The paper estimates the fish went extinct between 2005 and 2010, right? So the researchers kept on looking and looking. The study team looked for Chinese paddlefish at hundreds of locations along the Yangtze as a part of an ongoing biological survey of the entire river basin. They used various types of net, sonar, electrofishing gear, other techniques to locate any representative of the species, all to no avail. They also monitored fish markets around the country. So the researchers then used a mathematical model to determine the likelihood that the species is extinct based on previous population size and the intervals between the sightings. But lack of observations during the surveys and during the past 16 years in rivers in highly urbanized regions with considerable level of water use makes new observations totally improbable. So the Chinese paddlefish was one of the only two paddlefish species in existence. There is one more which is in America, so that is known as American paddlefish, and that is a vulnerable species found in Mississippi River Basin in the United States. Both are closely related to the sturgeon family. So the family is sturgeon family, okay, of which 85% are threatened with extinction, making them the most imperiled group of animals. So large fish are not the only crucial players in their ecosystem, they are sentinels for environmental quality also, as the animals can only survive in healthy rivers. So other than this, there are many fishes which are in danger of extinction, like Mekong giant catfish. There is giant freshwater stingray, right, which are both considered critically endangered and are threatened by proposed dams. So now here we will talk about way forward, like what next now. So lessons learned from paddlefish loss include the importance of protecting what's left in Yangtze and beyond, We must urgently act to save those species for which some chances still remain. So, in a study team survey, they didn't find another 140 species that they hoped to see, and some of these deserve much more attention to determine their conservation status. Then, extinction risk assessments for all endangered Yangtze species. So, it's not just about Yangtze, it is true for all the freshwater and other marine environment also, that the surveys should be conducted for these endangered species. And furthermore, activities like fishing and dam construction deserve more scrutiny, as well as efforts to mitigate impacts of development such as fish ladders. And moving forward, we need to balance the needs of humans with the needs of aquatic life, and that can be done. It is not an impossible task. So right, this is all about. So I will just conclude the today's lecture for you in main lines what we learned. So Chinese paddlefish is also known as this is new for you, Chinese swordfish, because of the long snout it had. So it is one of the world's largest freshwater fish species. It inhabited the Yangtze River basin. The largest Chinese paddlefish may grow up to 3 meters and could have a weight of 300 kg. So it has been listed in IUCN Red List as critically endangered since 1996. However, scientists have now declared it as an extinct species. The Chinese paddlefish, along with American paddlefish, were the only two extant members of this lineage that was most diverse and widespread, like they were there millions of years ago. So the factors that if now somebody asks you what are the factors which led to the Chinese paddlefish extinction, then you can say number 1 is construction of dam along the Yangtze River basin. Number 2 is overfishing. Number 3 is habitat loss, right, and fragmentation. And number 4 is pollution, because these kind of species only survive in the healthy rivers. So this is all about today's lecture. If you have any queries, you can contact me on social media. PDF will be available on my Telegram channel. Thank you.